Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 281, Black Narcissus. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. It's Eric, right?
Yes, Eric, I believe is actually,
okay.
the emphasis is on the second syllable in that one. No, I believe you pronounced Black Narcissus correctly.
Okay.
I pronounced it incorrectly last week when I picked it. I think I said Narcissus.
Isn't that what I just said?
I thought you said Narcissus.
Who knows? Yeah.
It could be now that I know what it's supposed to be. I hear it properly, even if you say it wrong.
Yeah, it could be. All I know is that I did want to come into this and make a black narcissist joke.
Yeah.
But then the movie did already, and so
Right.
now it just feels redundant.
Oh, yeah. a lot of brown face in this movie.
Yep.
How about that?
Yep. Yeah, yep. I mean, it's a movie made in the 40s, so yeah, I mean, you can't excuse it, but I don't think you can erase it either.
Right.
We just have to look back at it and it's like, well, we definitely wouldn't do that now, right? I hope.
Ideally. Maybe that's why they remade it, so they could do it with actual people of color.
Could be. There is at least one person of color, at least with a major role. So, that's something, right?
It's better than nothing.
Right? They didn't just go full brown face on it.
Right.
And I believe all the background actors, non-speaking roles, they were all of Indian descent, I believe. So
I believe you're right there as well, yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure I saw like one or two just like not specifically Indian, but possibly just general Asian faces in the background.
Sure.
Because as it's stated in the movie, they all look alike to them, right?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yikes. Saying the quiet part loud, sister. Though I guess if you can't be honest with your fellow nuns, who can you be honest with?
That is true.
I guess Jesus, probably.
Yeah, that's the one guy you can go to over and over again for sure.
Or Mr. Dean, either way.
Yeah, either way, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both relatively shirtless, right?
True, definitely, yeah. They're rugged, handsome men.
Sure. I bet, though, Jesus probably would not be wearing shorts everywhere.
Probably not. Or that weird hat. Like, I don't know what was going on with his hat.
Yeah, it reminded me of the hat from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes! Oh, truly cursed.
When Mr. Dean first shows up and he's riding a tiny pony, wearing that hat with short shorts, I lost my fucking mind for a moment. So I was like, this isn't real. What is happening?
There are so many mini ponies in this movie. Like, is that... I wondered, like, are they meant to be just stand-ins for full-sized horses, or are people really just riding around on mini ponies?
It does not seem like a great way of conveyance.
Yeah.
Because they look ridiculous, and I mean, I'm sure they're, stronger than most, but they're so tiny.
Yeah, well,
adorable.
The scene where Mr. Dean rides up on one, and then I swear he just steps off.
Yeah,
like his feet are already touching the ground while he's sitting on this thing. It looks so silly.
Like I said, when he makes his first appearance and he's on that tiny pony, I had to question whether this movie was a comedy or not. Because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I would say, for the most part, this movie not a comedy.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that I can't say for sure the movie is not. Is a comedy. Otherwise, I'm still not really sure.
Oh boy, it's a movie.
Yeah, it sure is. So yeah, I think I mentioned last week that I didn't really know anything about what this was,
right?
Other than I had seen some sort of still photos, I guess, from it, and I thought it looked really cool, and that turned out to be true.
It did look cool.
It looks super cool. I have determined that I love Technicolor. Just the colors are so vibrant. I know, that's a stupid thing to say.
No.
But it's like the combination of the Technicolor and I guess a lot of the backdrops I read were black and white photos that they blew up. And then the art department painted with pastels.
Mm-hmm.
That looks so cool.
It really does. This is a visually stunning movie, especially for being from 1947.
Yeah.
I was. It is presented in a full frame format. 4x3, however you want this to say that.
Yeah.
But even then, I was still blown away by the scope, and it's a relatively small movie. It all takes place on 4 sets for the most part, but just the backgrounds are amazing.
Yeah.
The scene when the sisters first move into the convent, and I think it's Ruth goes to ring the bell for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a overhead shot of her ringing the bell, and it's off a cliff side. Because their convent is 8,000 miles up, I think, is what they said.
I don't know, is it 8,000 miles? That seems pretty far.
Maybe not, okay.
but feet, for sure.
8,000 feet, sure. All right. Either way.
8,000 miles might be the moon.
It's okay. Whatever.
Sorry.
Shut up.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Joe.
Aww.
But yes, either way, whatever it is, it's a steep drop.
Yes.
And I did see a before and after photo of what they filmed and what is in the movie. And she's 10 feet off the ground,
Right.
And then they have a matte painting to just have an endless void underneath her. And as soon as it popped up, I know it's a matte painting, and I literally said out loud, "Nope."
Yeah, that's kind of it's Chekhov's mountain.
It really is.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, somebody's going off. Somebody's fallen." And I was not disappointed.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing what happens there. Although I feel like I may have known that just from like the clips of the remake TV show.
Sure.
Just like the shot of a nun dangling from the bell tower rope just stuck with me. So I had that in mind going into this.
All right.
Although, again, other than that, I had no idea what this movie was about other than nuns.
Yeah. It's kind of like The Shining. Like, it's The Shining with nuns.
Yeah, and no supernatural, but
right.
But yeah, nuns go crazy. That's the general plot.
It's the opposite of I think there was a website called Nuns Having Fun, which is just like photos of nuns like surfing and having a good time. I know they do calendars. I see them at Half Price Books every now and then. This is the opposite of Nuns Having Fun.
Yeah, they're having a real bad time.
Oh man.
So yeah, the plot is pretty simple. It's a group of nuns who are meant to establish a convent and a hospital on the top of a mountain that was a former harem for the prince of whatever region of India they are in.
Yeah.
I believe it's in the Himalayas somewhere, but yeah, things don't go well, and they all slowly start losing their minds in various ways.
Yeah, very slowly.
Yeah.
This movie is a slow burn.
It is. Yeah. I will say the last half hour to 40 minutes or so are pretty gripping.
Yes, absolutely.
But getting to that point, it's leisurely.
I do think part of that contributed to skipping ahead to my favorite segment. Did we fall asleep during this movie? I think part of that contributed to my falling asleep during this movie.
Yeah, so you usually text me somewhere, around 7:30 or so my time to, establish, what time we're going to get together and record here. And I hadn't heard from you. I got a little worried.
I was visiting the Sandman. I was in the sweet embrace of Morpheus.
So I attempted to head off the Sandman, and I took a nap before I watched the movie.
Oh, smart.
But then when I started the movie, I was still pretty sleepy. So I still managed to fall asleep during this movie. And it was within the 20-30 minute range.
Nice. Yeah, I think it was around 45 minutes for me. I know I fell asleep when the girl that they take in, she was like, yes, yeah, she's like dancing around in a room.
Yeah.
And I think I sort of like, I had fallen asleep during the scene before that, and then I like started or like I heard the music and it woke me up, and I was like, oh, I was just sleeping. I should probably just take a nap. So I don't think I missed anything, at least.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You got the basic point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, during that first hour or so, there's not a ton happening. It's just all character development.
Yeah.
And just, the early signs of the nuns slowly being driven insane. One worse than the others.
Right. I think it's Ruth who busts into the room covered in blood.
Yes.
That was awesome. Like there's so much striking imagery in this.
Yeah.
And all of the nuns wear just like these pure white habits. And so like her coming in with blood just basically all over her.
Yeah.
Was just like, oh my god, something has really gone wrong.
It's just a normal day in a convent.
That's, you know what? Fair enough. Blood of Christ, etc. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I guess, I mean, just as a guy who likes movies, I'm still fairly ignorant about the history of movies and whatnot, so I don't know when, colorized movies sort of became, a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Wizard of Oz is the most famous example, I guess, using, the transition from black and white to color. So, but I don't know how often it was done, or how common it was. I mean, even still into the late 50s, they were still making black and white movies.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna just guess that this is like one of the rare colored films that came out, especially in the 40s, and it is well earned throughout for its use of just scenery and color coding and just shocking imagery. You mentioned Ruth with covered in blood. Which is sort of reflected at the end when she completely loses it and quits the convent and appears in normal clothes, and it is just a shockingly red dress with red hair and red bright lipstick. It's just an amazing use of color.
Yeah, and then her just utterly insane, the red around her eyes.
Oh, yeah.
As she goes even further off of the deep end.
Yep.
It was so cool.
Movie takes a lot of swings.
Yes, it really does.
Because it straight up in the last 5 minutes of this movie turns into a horror movie. When Sister Cloda?
Yeah, Cloda, I'm not sure.
Yeah, reading it with the subtitles, it did not help that.
Right.
Because it is spelled weird. When she's ringing the bell, and Sister Ruth, post complete breakdown, bursts through the doors, she looks like a straight up zombie.
Yeah, that shot was incredible.
There's just not a lot to this movie, but
yeah,
it is something.
I was thinking that watching this made me think of other movies that I've seen about nuns.
Okay.
Part of it, too, I think, is that I listened to the most recent episode of Scott Hasn't Seen.
Sure.
Which is about Sister Act and Sister Act 2.
Yes.
So I was already thinking about nuns. But I started thinking about, did you ever see, I think it's called The Little Hours?
No.
Okay, yeah, it's Alison Brie and from April from Parks and Rec.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, yes, and Dave Franco is this guy who comes to the convent and basically just seduces all of the nuns there. It's this really weird dark comedy.
All right.
But I sort of thought is that a play on Black Narcissus? Because I wondered if, because it seemed at first Mr. Dean is always around.
Right.
And, they several of the nuns have some decent chemistry with him.
They're all sweaty for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's there's 5 nuns, and they all want to get on Mr. Dean.
Yeah, it's a very horny movie.
Yeah, surprisingly so for 1947.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was, the fact that it didn't turn out that way was actually kind of refreshing.
Right.
That like it's not about one or more of them hooking up with him or running away with him or whatever. Even though Ruth tries.
Oh yeah. He actively rejects her.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what sends her over the edge, literally.
Heyo.
Spoiler. But yeah, no, sorry, I interrupted you, and now I don't know what I'm saying.
You're fine. Yeah, I was just gonna say, it seems like throughout the movie he's set up as a foil for Sister Clodagh and Clodagh, whatever, and the fact that at the end it was an unexpected reversal. For me, anyway. It also reminded me of a movie called The Beguiling. The Beguiled. Not the comic shop in Toronto.
I was about to say.
No, the Beguiled is... have you seen that?
No.
It's about like this house of, I think, 5 women, like a mother and her daughters. I know Kirsten Dunst is one of them. I forget who the other women are, but I know there's at least 1 or 2 other recognizable actresses there. And I think it's set during the Civil War, and a deserter from, or like an injured soldier from the opposite side, played by Colin Farrell, comes, like he ends up at their house. And then they, like, all of the women basically become just smitten with him while he's there. So it reminded me of that a little bit as well. Yeah, I don't know, just the Black Narcissus is in the DNA of other things that I've seen and enjoyed is basically what I'm getting at, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not watching the right type of movies. I'm not, not into nun cinema.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen the first Sister Act, but that's pretty much as far as it goes, I think.
Yeah, the second one's pretty great. It's not good, but it's great.
So I've heard.
What kind of movies are you watching? Other than The Little Hours and The Beguiled.
I'm watching movies about mutant cats with who are poisonous that stow away on yachts.
Okay.
Those type of movies.
Is that the Toonses movie?
Oh, I wish there was a Toonses movie.
Wasn't there supposed to be a Toonses movie at some point?
I'm sure there was. I do know that there was a VHS collection of Toonses sketches.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
It could.
Oh, Toonses. How did he learn to drive? We'll never know. But yeah, you're right. There's the movies the plot is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just weird cultural stuff. Like they talk a lot about how the people who live in the village, basically at the base of the mountain, are like primitive.
Yeah.
They don't seem that primitive to me.
No.
Like they seem just different. They're fine.
Yeah. While watching it, I was setting aside the brown face, I was like, is this, radically tolerant for a 1947 movie, or is this just casually racist? And I could not honestly tell.
Yeah, it's such a fine line between the two.
The caretaker of the palace.
Oh, the crazy woman?
Yeah. When she first showed up, I was like, is that Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies? Like, I had to look her up to make sure.
They do share some similar traits.
Yeah. I will say the general, the old general, who decrees that the nuns are going to move into the palace. He had me fooled. Like, I legitimately, did not automatically assume that was just a white guy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But he was.
Right.
I looked him up, and he's been in a ton of things, but most notably, he was one of the elders on Krypton in Superman the movie.
I saw that, yeah. I think one of his last credits was for Superman 4.
Yeah.
So he's going out on top.
Hell yeah! But then, the only 100% Indian actor in this entire movie is an actor by the name of Sabu, who played the young prince, or young general, whatever they call him.
Right, yeah, I think it's young general.
He played Mowgli in the 1942 version of The Jungle Book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I guess he just, as a kid, fell into like this production company, this studio, and was just in a ton of their movies, always playing like, the one colored person.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Sadly died very young. Died before he was 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, he, and he's treated relatively well within the context of this movie.
Right.
But then, yeah, he falls for the young, I don't even know what she is supposed to be. They, like, dance around describing her.
Yeah, she's a I don't know. Yeah. A loose woman? Who knows?
Yeah, because they're like, well, she's 17, so she's supposed to be married, but, she's crazy.
Again, didn't seem that crazy to me.
Nope, yeah.
Just seemed like a teenager.
Yep, just a horny teenager. Played by Gene Simmons of Kiss fame.
Yes. When she stuck her tongue out and it was like 4 inches long, I was like, I only know one person with a tongue that long. One famous person, anyway.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's how he got into wearing makeup, full face makeup.
That makes sense, yeah.
It just in here, it's brown and
right.
Clown white.
Oh, imagine if all of the people in brown face in this were in clown white face instead. What a strange movie.
I mean, it already is.
It is very strange to begin with, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a British film, but, we can still call it, essentially Hollywood. that just not a great track record about presenting non-whites in film.
Yeah.
Especially, in the early days.
Right. At least they were trying.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, like I said, it goes back to me thinking throughout the movie. Like, I can't tell if this is, respectful, or radically respectful, or just plain racist. But, ultimately, sadly, they don't matter.
Right.
Because it's pretty much just all about the mental state of the nuns. Yeah, and I'm sure there's some sort of commentary about, British colonialism in India and all that. But that's not a thing that I, am equipped to understand.
Right, yeah. That's, I'm too dumb for that, too.
Yeah. But I mean, slow going, but once it finally kicks off, it's pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say that I generally enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, no, I did as well. Yeah, I think even the slow going parts, like I don't think there is a shot in this movie that's poorly framed.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like everything looks spectacular.
Yeah.
I wish there'd been a little bit more plot to go along with the great visuals, kind of like Dune.
Yeah, I feel like the last couple of movies, like even Blade Runner, it's just like you can watch a movie and just throw off the opinion of it sucks or it's great.
Yeah,
and for even a movie that you can just say that, well, that kind of sucked. Most movies that, quote unquote suck are all well made for the most part.
Yeah.
They just don't connect for some reason. And especially, like a big budget, to do, you have professionals, behind the camera and on camera doing the best job that they can, and just for some reason it doesn't work. But you can't look at it and say, well, it was just poorly made.
Yeah.
And sometimes even movies that are just poorly made kind of work.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. So, it just takes all kinds, I guess, I don't know what I'm saying.
It takes all kinds.
Yeah. But no, like even in the parts of this movie where I just, felt disconnected or disinterested, and even though it all comes together in the end to where I come around on it and am enjoying the thing that I'm watching, never once I'm like, well, this is poorly acted or this looks bad.
Yeah.
It never does. Everyone is giving top level performances. And the movie is immaculately shot, to the point where, even for, 75-year-old movie or whatever, it's some of it still seems innovative. There are shots in this movie, I was like, wow. I don't know how they did that. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone come close to accomplishing that in a modern film.
Yeah.
Even the ending shot, not of Mr. Dean, but of just before they cut to him.
Right. The rain.
The rain, yeah, the rain on the leaves and the nuns trailing off in the background. I was just like, that's amazing. I don't know what it is about it, but it really stood out to me.
Yeah, no, I think the way that's done like especially as the rain intensifies and the people just disappear behind it.
Yeah.
Was really cool.
Yeah. And, Mr. Dean, ending on him, slicking back his hair. His hair is magnificent.
Right.
He's a ruggedly handsome guy, I'll give it to them,
He's going to head back and talk up the newly educated women in the village. That's what he's there for.
Yep. Just hanging out with monkeys and smoking.
Right. Yeah, I don't regret watching this movie at all. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I was actually even curious about maybe watching the miniseries just to see.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm probably fine not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Do that in an evening.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, boy. So, did anything spark some joy in you this past week?
Well, you know about this already.
Yeah.
I went to a local comic shop. I had the itch to dollar bin dive, and I got there thinking they had dollar bins. They actually had 50-cent bins.
That's the best.
Yes. And I got a near complete run of the 1996 Dan Jurgens Teen Titans series. Most of it, and one of the annuals, and the thing that made me really want to buy it was an incredible promo item that I got with it. That's made up to look like a teen magazine, but it's all about the shitty characters of this Teen Titans series. So that's the thing that has made me the happiest, is basically and like the 3 issues that I still need to find. I like to have a little project.
Sure.
So I got some comics and I got a project.
That's awesome. I think you and I have talked before, probably on a podcast, about how, the Dan Jurgens Teen Titans is actually pretty good.
It's pretty solid. Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get you on the project thing. My lady friend and I went to a comic store, and she loves Disney stuff.
Okay.
And so she bought was it Big Thunder Mountain?
Oh, nice.
Is that a Disney thing?
Yeah, I think there was there a Marvel miniseries for it?
Yeah.
I want to say it's a ride.
Yeah. So it's her oldest kid's favorite ride. And so she bought this comic, for him.
Nice.
But, we went to Mavericks, and we've talked about Mavericks.
Yeah.
They didn't have every issue.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, this is exciting for me, because now when I go to any comic store, I will look for, the remaining issues.
Right.
And get them for you. And then she just went online and found them and bought them.
Boo.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cheating.
That is the cheater's way out. And now I've done that before for different things that I've been looking for, but that's as a last resort only.
Right. And because you're impatient.
Well, sure, sometimes.
Yeah, I bought, at Rose City Comic Con, I bought almost the full run of The Death and Return of Superman.
Okay.
Just because I found most of it in dollar boxes again. Mm-hmm. And it was a story that I've had on my mind for some reason lately.
Are you going to do another oral history?
No, I don't think so.
Fuck, all right.
I think that one's been done at this point, I think.
All right. But I want to read the Joe G spin.
I know. I'll think about it.
Okay, all right.
Next year is the 30th anniversary of it, so I'll think about it.
Fuck me.
Right?
God damn it.
I am vehemently against the passage of time. There was a thing going around on Twitter today about how the actress who played 13-year-old Jennifer Garner in 13 Going on 30 turns 30 today. And I felt myself wither to dust. But yeah, on the Superman thing, I've got like a list of the 6 or 7 books that I still need to finish the run, and I know I could easily go on my comic shop or eBay or whatever to find the ones that I'm looking for. But it's more fun to have that project when I go to stores and digging through dollar boxes.
It is, last year I was looking for a couple of Kurt Busiek comics. To the point where I was being driven insane that I could not find them. And I even had you out in Seattle looking for them for me if you could find them. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, it's just, I can't find these anywhere. I need to go to my comic shop or eBay. And neither of them had them either.
Oh, jeez.
But, it's only when it gets to the breaking points is when I go online to see if I can find them.
Yeah.
And of course, my luck is that the things that I'm looking for, I can't find online either. So
gonna have to go to more comic stores.
Yep, exactly.
What a sacrifice.
Yep. There's this is a dumb one, but like the last 10 issues of the 90s Deathstroke series.
Okay.
They're non-existent. I found some once, but they were like $10 to $15 a pop.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, I am not paying that much for any issue of Deathstroke.
I saw a bunch of those in the 50-cent bins. I don't know if they were the last 10 issues, but I saw some Deathstrokes in there. So I need to go back because I was there on Tuesday and the store closed early, so I only got through maybe a third of their 50-cent boxes. So I am going to go back to try and find the rest of those Titans comics.
Oh, let me know. I will send you a list.
Yes, please do.
Okay. There was something else that I've been trying to look for that I think I've even asked you before, like, why can't I find these? But I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, let me know. Happy to keep an eye out.
All right.
That's fun for me too. Is like you looking for those comics for your lady friend is I like to look for stuff for other people too, because it's like it's a project, but it's not for me. Like, that's almost more fun.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's sparking joy for you this week, Eric?
I got nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, it's been a rough week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Dude, this time change is fucking killing me.
No, it's not.
It is. I think that's part of why I fell asleep too, is like I started the movie and it was like got to be around 4:00 here and it's just pitch dark outside.
I mean, to be fair, it was like, pitch dark at like 5:00 here.
Yeah.
But, I had to work through the time change, so I had to live through 1 a.m. last Saturday twice. So
that sucks.
The time change doesn't bother me.
Okay, well that's fair.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You know what? The thing that sparking joy for me, the lady friend was over last night, and I made her watch Michael Bolton's big, sexy Valentine's Day special.
Nice.
Because she was protesting. And I had to prove her wrong.
That sounds healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was as fantastic as the previous times that I've watched it.
Nice.
Because it's fucking great.
I have to admit I have not seen that.
What?
I know.
Of all people, Joe.
I know. I almost don't want to watch it. Like, I like the idea that it's still out there for me to get to at some point. So I'll get to it at some point.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I am disappointed in you. You have now just killed my joy of the week.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. My lady friend did end up watching it and liking it, so
that's good. Yeah. That's more important.
And then she recommended it to somebody, so
nice.
You know, yeah.
Even
now
better.
I'm recommending it to you, Joe.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can talk Jenny into watching it this weekend.
Okay, because also it's a good Christmas show.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
It's secretly a Christmas special.
All right. Good to know.
And of course, as we know, Christmas started on November 1st.
Right. Of course. Oh, man. Do you have a movie that you would like to pick for next week?
I do, and I hope that you would want to watch it. Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so going from super old movie to super new movie.
Okay.
This came out last week on Netflix. It is called The Harder They Fall.
Okay.
It's a Western starring a mostly black cast.
Nice. All right.
I believe Idris Elba is in it. And Regina King and some other folk.
Nice. I like both of them.
Alrighty. So that's it.
That works for me. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but I have heard good things. So.
All right. Excellent.
Into it.
Excellent.
The Harder They Fall.
That is that movie that we will watch next week.
Is that the sequel to The Bigger They Are? Do I have to have watched that first? Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.